And we are live again.
All right, g'day everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of the Snake Catchers podcast. I'm Brett and I'm here, of course, with Dan, as always. Back in your snake room this time.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't be bothered driving out to my place to do an episode.
It's too far.
It's convenient that I have to come and get bugs 2 minutes around the corner from where you are. So, we try and
it helps.
Sort of work it out around that. But no, it's not too bad being back here, I suppose, in your very small snake room.
Yeah. It'll be bigger one day.
It'll get there.
Not here, but...
It'll get there.
I got plenty of snakes in there, though.
Plenty of snakes in here, though. I think we sort of touched a little bit on that in the last one, didn't we? Episode 6, we're going to do another catch-up. It's been, week and a half since the last episode, so we're going to catch up on all the call-outs that we've done since then. And then at the end, instead of answering questions like we've done in the last sort of few catch-up episodes, we're going to sort of do a bit of a not a deep dive, I suppose, more of a sort of a bit more context on a couple of Facebook posts that we do. So we're going to pick a couple of posts and sort of bit more of context on them and have a bit of a chat about them. Call outs since the last episode. What have you got?
I actually had a couple from last time that I forgot to mention. That I wanted to mention. That I forgot and obviously remembered like pretty much as soon as we stopped. It would have been a couple of days before we filmed the last episode. Had little Eastern Brown in a house in Greenock. And the room, there wasn't much in. There was in a bedroom. There wasn't much in the room. It was a small snake, and he's in like the hardest spot to get to. It was like bottom of a wardrobe. You know, you got like the hollow kicker at the bottom of a wardrobe.
Yeah.
He's in under there.
Just in under that. Yeah.
And the old fella that was there was trying to help. Like it was just one of those situations. You don't want to be rude, but you're just trying to tell him to get out of the way.
You get the odd enthusiastic old bugger sometimes, don't you?
He's just putting his hands where he shouldn't. I'm like, dude, just don't. Like, just let me do it. And then, plus, like, letting an old dude lift stuff. Like, I'm like, just let me lift it, it's all right. And then, of course, this snake was like, you look back and he's just like right back in the corner.
The furthest possible point.
Yeah, poke him out and stuff. And then I had a bit of a close call. We eventually got him out, and I had my bag sort of on the ground. And I was just hoping, because he's small, I was hoping he was going to go in the bag himself. But yeah, he sort of went under the bag, and then his tail was poking out, and was like, "Oh!" went to grab it, and as I went to grab it, he sort of backpedaled over, like reversed over himself, and sort of
come back out
past my hand a little bit. So that was a kind of a bit of a nervy moment. And then I ended up catching him with using the bag like I originally bloody should have and was going to. But yeah, that was one. Another one, and then. Straight after that, went out to just at a Newry, and Will came out. This is why I want to talk about this one. This is the one Will missed out on. He was there, and we got there pretty quick. We both rocked up at the same time. We're like, it was in this part of the garden or something like that. And we're both like, I'm like, I'll go around and do a bit of a reconnaissance. You start sort of just, looking in the bushes and stuff and see if you can't get him to move out. And as he's moving through, and as I'm moving through, and I walk through, and I heard something, I'm like, that sounds like a snake. And I just stood still. Like, it's crazy the amount of times it happens, but and then all of a sudden he just crawled across my feet, and like Will was supposed to be catching this one, and like if I let him go, he's just gonna take off, and I'm like, bugger, I have to catch you. Sorry. and just tailed him, and then he should look at his face, like in turn, I got worked out that he ended up flushing it towards me instead of the other way around, and I just went straight over my feet, and I couldn't just let it go, so I had to grab it.
It's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it does happen sometimes when you've got someone that you're training that is there to catch a snake, and then it just happens to be right next to you at a certain point, and you have to be the one to grab it.
But the amount of times it sort of happens where even when you're by yourself, and if you actually sort of zoned in on what you're doing and you're listening and trying to work out what's going on, sometimes you hear a noise coming and you're like, it's a snake. And just like anything with a snake, you just stand still, and the amount of times I've caught them just going over my feet or close to it, going through my legs, and you just wait for him to go and then just grab it. And sometimes it's that easy. But yeah, that was that one.
Yeah, it's a shame that Will didn't didn't get that catch.
So, it was actually pretty annoying, but it's a good sized snake.
But you're telling me you didn't let it go and get him to catch it again?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
At the customer's house.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. By the way, he's just a little inside joke from from an old story we heard about last season.
First one that I did sort of since the last episode was another one at a school. Blake's Crossing. It's only 20 minutes from where I am, just in the foothills. There, I'd been out there before this season for a little brown snake that had gone into a garden bed that I didn't get. Got called back out. They were suspecting it was the same snake and it had gone into... They've sort of got a big veggie garden area on the outside of the school and it had gone into the compost pile. 3 people there sort of watching the area, which is always fantastic. But I got there, they said it sort of went into the compost heap, and these are quite decent sized compost heaps that are just held up with pallets sort of thing, so it could slip in and go sort of under everything. And the size that they were saying was just not ideal. So started digging through all that. Yeah, didn't really have a hope of finding it just because of the size they said and sort of how big these compost heaps were, but started digging through it. Got literally to the bottom. I was probably there for about half an hour and I was literally about to call it as I'd sort of turned these compost heaps over. I'd made a bit of a mess as well, and one of the blokes on the outside of the fence saw it shoot out from sort of the other side out of one of the raised garden beds. It was only 30 centimetres long, so again, a horrible size, but it went across a little open bit and I missed it and started going down the side of a shed. There was, I can't even remember what it was, but there was something leaning up on the side of the shed that it sort of ducked behind. So it gave me a chance to get back over to it because it sort of went behind there and then hesitated before it went back out again.
Yeah.
So it gave me a second to sort of get over there and get in position. So as it did start going out, I was able to grab it and get it in the bag, which again, I'd left right back over the other side. So As it happens. So I had to get one of the teachers to grab my bag for me and bring it over.
Yeah.
But again, for the size of the snake, it wasn't too badly behaved, I suppose. It threw a few coils, but wasn't a complete spastic like a lot of them are.
Yeah, sometimes like little ones are alright, but it's when they're moving, like it's just with the smaller they get, like, the harder it is to time when to grab
it.
Like it's especially when they're like they take off. It's a lot easier when you're in a confined spot and you just got to pull them out or something like that.
Yeah. I had to grab him twice. I told you when I was releasing him, I let him out of the bag into a sort of scrub area. He did a U-turn and headed straight back past me and went straight for the road. So I had to tail him again and made sure he went back into the scrub.
The amount of times that happens.
Yeah.
They literally, like, you can try your best so hard to make them go that way and they just go zoop back the other way. And,
I didn't really want to have to tail him again, but you have to. Yeah. Sometimes it just...
Sometimes you can try everything. Like, I've had him go back and then you like literally getting him, like, waving the bag in front of him and like...
just to get him to go the other way.
Yeah, just to get him to go. And like, sometimes, most of the time that works, but sometimes they just like, they got this idea in their head that they're going that way and you're like, okay.
Nothing stops them. They just go. So another call that you actually did one for me this week. Right. I sent you to a call for a change. I was preoccupied with other work, like I have been. Again, take the opportunity when it comes up on a few of these sort of
still animal related
caller days, but still animal related. So I had to send you out to a call.
Yeah, so that was last Wednesday,
Thursday,
which is was it today? Tuesday. So last Thursday. It was. SA, can we say where it was?
Yeah, I suppose. SA Water.
SA Water treatment plant in,
Gamaraka.
Gamaraka, that's the one. I just happened to be in Anguston, which is still like 30 minutes, but it's 10 minutes closer than what I would have been if I was home. So, like Brett said, he was preoccupied, so I'm like, I better help him out this time because Brett's helped me a few times. So I'm like, I better go and do it. And yeah, like I said, made it in good time anyway. Got there, the dude was watching it, and it was just a heap of big square concrete pavers, and it was just a labyrinth of rat holes, actual rat holes, not mice holes, which would then explain the size of this thing once we got him out.
It was a good size.
It was a decent sized snake, and obviously, like with that, when you're pulling up pavers and stuff, like Murphy's Law, it's always like the last one or two pavers.
And sure enough.
Yeah, and it was only, wouldn't have been 20 degrees. I think it was like 17 or 18 degrees or something.
It hadn't quite warmed up too much.
He played the game. I got the feeling, like, once I'd tailed him and all that, I'm like, yeah, he would have been a handful. Like, if it was 30 degrees, he would have been a handful. Like, it was just a big snake, and he had a fair bit of, like, it is, like, we rather tail bigger stuff, but at the same time, they've got a bit more power behind them, and I could just sort of feel that with him a bit. But, yeah, good sized snake, and it was fairly simple. I think I was only there for 10 minutes or something like that. The dude was keeping an eye on it the whole time, and not too hard to relocate around that area. So.
Yeah, there's a few good spots to go around Gum.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, that was good. A good one to do for you for once.
Yeah. Few and far between, but gotta get you out there as well. So the same day I had one in the afternoon when I was on my way home from the work that I've been doing during the day. I got a call just as I'd left. And the drive's about an hour back to my place from where I was anyway. Got a call from, where was it? Houghton, so 5 minutes from my place anyway, of a big snake that had gone into the house. And I thought, okay, I'm an hour away, but it's inside, so it should be contained. So I said, yeah, I'll head straight there, just keep an eye on it, get, pets, kids away, et cetera, et cetera. So I was driving there, about 15 minutes later, I got a call back saying, it's gone outside. I'm like, shit. And I'm like, oh, yeah, no worries. Do you know where it is? We're like, no, it just went sort of down the side of the house where I got my partner out there just seeing if he can sort of see where it went. They're like, yeah, no worries.
Because it wasn't warm. Yeah, it was the same day.
So it was the same day, so it wasn't terribly warm.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, yeah, no worries. Do you still want me to come out? They're like, yeah, still come out. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm on my way anyway. So got out there, and then the bloke's standing by the side of the house, and there's sort of a little bit of rubbish there. And as I get out of the car, he's like, oh yeah, I found it. He's just under here. I'm like, oh, sweet. So it worked out.
So he did your job for you.
Yeah, he did. He did. It worked. So yeah, it worked out. It was a nice big red belly.
Yeah.
First sort of decent sized red belly for the season, which was nice to get. A good chunky animal. And again, he just literally went down the side of the house. Like, they showed me where it went in and then out the front door, straight down the side of the house, and there was a bit of cardboard that had fallen over, and it was literally just curled up. Yeah. Curled up under there. So
was it an old house?
Yeah. So that was a nice easy one finish off the afternoon. But yeah, that was sort of more of a quieter day. I suppose a couple came in, but not heaps.
Well, that same day I got a red belly too.
You did, yeah.
That's only my second red belly for the season. Normally do have caught more, obviously it's been a quieter season anyway, but normally caught more reds by now, but it's only my second one, and I don't know how many browns, but this dude was out at Flaxlands Valley, which is like, whenever I get a call out there, it's more often than not a red belly. And I think the bloke thought he saw two heads, and I'm like, oh, like either a male and female, or a male's eating, or a male combating, or one's eating another one, which I thought on the way there. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just one eating another one. And I got there and it was only one, but just went in under, got bailed up by the dogs and stuff, but they didn't get near it, but enough to scare it, and it just went in under this little concrete ornament or something like that. I just lifted him up, and he was under there, and I was pretty excited. Didn't even musk on me now I think about it.
Oh, the big fella got me.
Yeah.
He got me real good.
I think both the reds, I think the first one did. Yeah, this red, he didn't musk, so that was good. Once again, it was pretty cold though, but doesn't mean they wouldn't musk. But yeah, that was a great one. And then
Reds are normally good for doing that.
yeah, and being out there like Faxon's Valley, just habitat everywhere. He was just passing through, and normally these guys don't worry about getting snakes moved on or anything. They just move on themselves. But this guy just curled up there, and it being cold too, he might have stayed there. And the dogs might have bailed him up the next day or something like that. So it's good just to move him on a bit, just to out the way, pretty much, essentially. So that was good. That kind of made my day, actually.
Getting a red.
But it was annoying too, because I was sort of going past, not far away from there when the lady called. So then I couldn't get Will onto that one, and I was like so pissed. I'm like, oh, he would have loved that.
He obviously hasn't caught a red yet, has he?
No. And like, there's been a few like calls in general where I sort of haven't been far away. Like within like a couple of minutes. Some of them, like most of them, been a couple of minutes. Like that. It would have been gone by the time he got there, so I just had to do it. But
it's always the hard situation, isn't it? Like, you're training someone, but if you're only a couple of minutes away, you've just got to sort of get there and do the job.
Yeah,
don't you?
I mean, one I just did before. We're going into another one of my calls.
That's all right. That's all right.
While I'm on the subject, just before we started this, obviously set everything up and then I got a call out as it happens all the time. You sort of, once you plan something, you always get a call out. Up at Angus and in Penrice, and a snake had somehow managed to get into a cat pen, which I applauded the owners for actually having a cat pen to start with, and they weren't keeping them like free roaming, which was good. But the snake somehow, it wasn't a very well made one, so the snake obviously easily got in. It was more so keeping the cats from getting out, more so than stopping things from getting in. That was one of those ones where it was cooled down too. I got there before Will did, and I just stood there and could watch. You can't, like we were saying before, we can't always do that. I just sat there with the lady. We just having a bit of a chat with the lady until I only had to wait 5 or so minutes before Will got there. But I could just keep an eye on the snake, and because it was cold, he wasn't going anywhere. And then Will rocked up and did his thing. But
again, it's so situational like that. Like, again, the fact that you were there, if it did start sort of moving off, you could just...
I would have just called. I said to the lady, I was like, I'm not just going to let it go away. Like, if it takes off, I'll catch it. But I'll just give it a chance. And then, sure enough, Will managed to catch it, which is another one under his logbook. So
he'd be getting there now, wouldn't he?
It'll be done by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like I said, we had a chat before, and I said if even by the end of the week, he could potentially be done. I want him to do a couple harder ones.
Couple of warm snakes.
Couple warm snakes. He's done various situational ones. But I said to him, it'd be good. And I'm I'm confident in him, but I want him to do a couple hard ones before we sort of, even if we get to 10 and a couple easy ones, I still want him to do a couple harder ones before we sort of say that he's good, sort of thing.
Just to get that whole sort of spectrum of catches.
I said to him even then, like going into Christmas and stuff, if we get your logbook done and passed it and get your paperwork signed off and sent in, while we're waiting for that to come back, I said you just still keep coming out with me, and we can just get a few more calls, and he can just do them, and like as if it's still in the logbook, but he's sort of just to get more practice in, pretty much, because he's still, even though he sent the paperwork in, you obviously have to wait to get approved before you can actually do anything yourself. So I still have to be there before that happens, but
it'll still be a good chance to just get that bit more experience.
He loves it, so he's happy to do anything, sort of thing. So and like we said, when we're not into signing people off just to get another worker or another person to make money off, like some people. But yeah, we try to do things the right way and get as much experience into them and make sure they're confident in themselves before we send them off on their own. So
I mean, hopefully it's a good week coming up for him to get a few harder snakes, warm snakes that are going to sort of might not throw him off a bit, but be different to the ones he's already caught.
Yeah, I mean, he has done a couple of hard ones, but it's just like, like every call out's different, and you do get a lot of easy ones. Actually, I did another one yesterday at the Yalumba Nursery, which is like in between Anguston and Neary. It's just a nursery where they I don't know what they do. They grow up vines or something like that. And this brown was just sitting in this glass house, just in the middle of the glass house, just sitting there. And it was very cold yesterday. He was just sitting there, and I actually thought he might have been poisoned or something, like secondary poisoning from a rodent or something. He's just sitting there. Then I got close to him, and he kind of acted a bit more like a brown snake. But yeah, that was another easy one too. So I actually don't know where I was going with that story. I think I just remembered that was another one I didn't actually write down to talk about.
All good.
Literally just
sat there.
like I guess like you get harder ones and easy ones, and that was
yeah. And again, it's like when you're doing your training in particular, it's good to see both sides of the sides of the scale.
And he's been to a few where you obviously don't catch him, or they just want you out to check or something like that. At least I can still talk him through about how to go about it and that sort of thing. So he's getting practice on that front as well. And as well as like the bit that no one talks about, which is the releasing as well, and finding decent release spots. And like I've said a million times, like sometimes it takes 10 seconds to catch a snake, and then you sit on Google Maps for 20 minutes trying to find
somewhere to
go. So it's that side of it that you're teaching them as well.
Yeah.
Because you got to find the happy medium between, giving the snake a good chance, and as well as hopefully not having to come in contact with people again as well.
It's always the harder part is finding the release spots.
Yeah.
Luckily where I am, I'd say it's a bit easier to find release spots.
It's easier. Yeah, it's easier at spots here. It's like there's certain spots where we seem to get them for some reason that just makes it hard. And this is vineyard, and it's like vineyard and cropping paddocks. Like they live in there because there's rodents, and there'd be rodent holes and there'd be snakes that would just be happy living down
underground
in there and just coming out for a bit of sun and going back in. But like morally, we can't just go and let them go in a vineyard or a paddock. Like we just can't. Or not that we can't, we just choose not to.
Yeah.
It's just not the right thing to do, even though that we know they live out there. But so yeah, it definitely makes things a bit harder.
I tell you, Gawler's getting hard for release spots, particularly if you catch one right in the middle of Gawler. It's getting
urban sprawl,
getting difficult with all the development that's going on. There's only a few sort of spots that,
and it's going to get hard. It was at the like Roseworthy and stuff.
Yeah,
went out there. When did I go out there? Last week, I think. And the amount of all the houses going out at Roseworthy there.
It's ridiculous.
Just in like snake habitat. There's building houses everywhere. So they're gonna have a bit of an issue with them. But that's sort of what happens when you build wildlife habitat and take their habitat. It's what's going to happen. Unfortunately,
it's not just snakes. They like turn up in people's backyards as well.
It's everything.
It's bloody everything.
Yeah,
like roos, echidnas, bloody koalas, all sorts.
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff turns up in backyards. So back to another one that I did. This was only on Saturday, the one at One Tree Hill. So you got the call.
Yeah.
For that one. Sent me out to One Tree Hill.
And of course you were in Gawler.
I was in Gawler anyway. One Tree Hill was only not even 10 minutes from where I am anyway, but I was in Gawler.
Yeah, that's what I mean. At the time. You're further away than what you normally would be.
Than what I normally was. So it was seen basking on the side of the house and ducked into or under a concrete path that was just going around the house.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah. So went out to that one thinking, okay, should just be able to, maybe manipulate under the path, flush him out, and we should be all good. The concrete path was solid concrete all the way around, so it wasn't pavers or anything that would just be easily lifted up.
Yeah.
The bloke was standing there watching, and he said exactly where it went in. He said it was sort of poking in and out, looking to potentially
take off,
but it was still under there when I arrived. So basically it was just a matter of...
Did you see it when you got there?
I didn't see it when I got there. I didn't see it... how long was I there for? I was probably there for 45 minutes.
Oh, that's right.
I'd say. And I didn't see it until it came out.
Yeah, right.
So I was literally just going on his word and what he saw. Started flushing. I had to do a little bit of digging at the front just so I could get the little poker manipulator in to just to see if I could feel anything underneath. Because again, I didn't know
It's hard
exactly.
It's hard to even feel them sometimes.
Yeah, because I didn't know exactly where the snake was sitting.
Yeah.
Either I was literally just going on where he said it went in.
Yeah.
And I'd flushed probably 3 meters of this path and nothing was happening. I'm thinking, like he could have. There could just be holes under here that he could have taken off and gone under. I remember saying to him at the start when I was just explaining what I was doing and everything, and I was saying, "Oh yeah, like he's probably just sitting under here. I've just got to get the right angle to sort of feel him and then get him to sort of
get out,
come out."
Yeah.
And I was literally about to give up, and I poked it in one more time, and he was watching the gap, and I was just doing this, and he's like, "Oh, his head just poked out."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, thank God for that." And again, so I pulled it out, just changed the angle a little bit, poked in again, and sure enough, he came straight out.
Yeah.
And I was able to grab him. It was a really nice light-coloured snake.
Yeah, look good
as well. Not too small either.
Yeah.
Like when I got there, he said it was probably about 500-600.
You're like,
It was probably a little bigger than that. But being under there, he didn't carry on too much when I did grab a hold of him.
yeah.
But again, really nice light-coloured Eastern brown. So yeah, that one was a good one. And again, plenty of places to release up around that area. So
Yeah, it's not too bad out there, is it?
Nah, plenty of places.
What else have I got there? Not a call out, but I had a lady. Actually, that might have been a couple of weeks ago. I might have meant to talk about that last time. A lady called me up in, where was it, up north? That one.
Oh yes.
Near Jamestown somewhere.
Yeah.
She was asking for a number. My number obviously came up on Google, and I gave her another number for a bloke out at Port Pirie or Porter or Whyalla or one somewhere out there. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? And she's like, oh, I had someone out from the northern suburbs to come up and have a look. About this snake's been hanging around. And then just like under the cup, like just like talking normally, she's like, oh, it actually bit me. I'm like, what?
Excuse me?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I asked her more about it. And yeah, anyway, this dude came up and couldn't find it, whatever, and left. And she ended up getting bitten by it. But accidentally, she just walked out her front door and stepped on it, and it nailed her. And I'm like, oh, dry bite? She's like, nah, envenomated. So one of the rare cases, really, that actually when a brown snake actually envenomates from an accident like that, like more often than not,
It's dry.
It's dry because they just shit themselves and they just, just defense.
Bite out of instinct.
Instinct, yeah. And then she's like, yeah, she went to Jamestown Hospital. Had to have anti-venom.
Bloody hell.
And yeah, she said she's still feeling a bit groggy at the moment. And that was like a couple of weeks after the bite, I think. So I felt a little bit helpless because she's like, oh, the snake that was there still and it's actually gone contained somewhere. So I'm hoping, I never heard anything, I'm hoping that other dude got it for her. But that was the first instance. I've had, this season anyway, I've had a few people over the last couple of years tell me they've been bitten before.
There was one out at Tanunda that I went to have a look for a bloke that had been bitten previously.
Oh, that's
Remember
right.
that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have been doing something, I reckon. I had to get you. That might have been this time last year.
Yeah, it probably was, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I went...
I think you'd been there
I went there as well, yeah. And he got nailed by... He thought it might have been a red belly. I think, from memory, wasn't
I
it?
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't turn anything up, unfortunately, but...
I can't remember if he went to hospital or not. I can't actually remember the story properly there, but he sent me a photo. I'm like, geez, that actually... Oh, because you never as much as you want to believe people, you don't always, because like a snake bite can, so many things can look like a snake bite, and, sometimes it's one fang, sometimes it's a scratch, but this is like literally like textbook, like two fangs. And you could see the other teeth as well. So, another thing about, like, venomous snakes, they've obviously got, like, rows of normal teeth behind their fangs as well. So, quite often when there is a decent bite on a person or something like that, you don't just see the two front fangs.
You'll see the other...
I don't even know what you call them.
Teeth.
Just general, teeth that are behind it. You'll see them on there as well. But yeah, that was a bit of a flashback.
Yeah. That was it must have been around this time last season.
I think it was.
That happened. I've got one more that was from today. Where was I? Kersbrook. I haven't even written it down yet. What did I do? Yeah, just out of Kersbrook. Other side of Kersbrook to where I am. It was Eastern Brown. It was a good size Eastern Brown that was in one of those IBC tubs that had been cut in half.
Oh, yeah.
And was just being used for whatever they felt like chucking in there. There was a few old feed bowls and stuff like that in there. And this fella had obviously got in, probably smelt something.
Yeah, I was gonna, when you sent me the video, I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like how he's just in there like that. He must have just been chasing food or something.
I'd say it was in like a half shed sort of thing like that. So I'd say he was probably just chasing food.
Yeah.
But he got in there. He was just curled up under one of the bowls when I got there. So it was relatively straightforward.
Yeah.
He put on a bit of defence when he was in there, of course, because he would have felt contained.
It looked like it.
He had a nice lunge.
I saw you a few times. You're like,
Yeah, he had a nice lunge. He just about got out when he lunged at me.
Yeah, right.
That one time, but as soon as I grabbed him, it was fine. He came out and went straight in the bag pretty well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was a relatively easy one for the day. Only one I had today. You had a couple.
Yeah, I got 3 today. So.
Yeah.
But
the first nice day after the crap weather weather we've had.
It's hit and miss. Then we got a week without jinxing it. We've got a week of high 20s, early 30s. So we'll see what happens. I think that tomorrow or the day after might be windy and a bit crappy. Maybe.
I think it was Saturday that was going down bit. Yeah, and then it bumps back up again next week.
Oh yeah, because I think Thursday or something was supposed to be windy or something, but it's not anymore. It's sun.
Yeah.
So, we got 29, 34, 29, then 21 on Saturday, like you said, and 22, 26, 30. So we'll see what happens.
Again, going off that, you'd think we'd be pretty busy, but again,
I mean, that's like the first stretch of actual warm weather we've had since really
last year.
Yeah, like since the season started, that's the first stretch of warm weather. Like we've had the odd day, like I think.
Day or two.
It might have been like 1 or 2 days where it's been high 20s in a row and then it's just gone back.
And then it's gone to
crap.
shit. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. This is sort of the first look of spring, even though we've just gone into summer.
And with those temps, it's almost like it is going straight to summer, isn't it?
I don't think we're going to have much of a spring. I'd say if this warm weather's coming in this quick after all the crap, it's probably just going to stay pretty warm.
Yeah.
I'd say. But again, we'll see what happens because that's all we can do, really.
Yeah, like I said, I've gone past trying
to predict what's going to happen.
I did that early days. I tried to predict it, and it's just never happens. It's always when you organise something or you got to do something like not related, and you end up getting a call. Go out for dinner or go and do something, and you end up getting a call.
Always the way.
Murphy's Law.
Always the way. That's why for you in particular, it's going to be nice to have Will.
Oh yeah.
On board for so you can go out and do stuff on a weekend or an evening or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be nice to have a bit of freedom. I've sort of like the last 4 or 5 years doing my own thing. I had to just be by myself kind of thing. But I mean, it's been at least the last 2 seasons. Brett's helped down the other end, like Williamstown and especially Gawler as well, which has been a lifesaver as well.
I'm lucky I came on last season.
You would have been fucked. I didn't know who else I would have gone. I mean, Alan was around last season, but it's probably a good thing it's been a bit quieter because with Alan not.
We lost Alan. We didn't lose him. He's just not catching anymore.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but again, is what it is.
Yeah, so, we'll work it out.
Yeah, that's it. We've got Will coming in.
Yeah.
I've actually been in talks with someone as well about potentially coming on as a part-timer next season.
Oh yeah.
Just for the odd weekend, summer, cool.
Which would be nice.
Which will be nice. So again, I can go out and do stuff as well. But that's still very early sort of conversation.
Yeah.
There, so we'll see how that.
Was that your mate?
Progresses. No, this is someone else.
No.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll tell you after.
Yeah. No, tell me now and tell everyone about it.
When it actually happens, I will. But I don't know if it's going to happen yet.
Yeah.
But
fair
we'll see. We'll see. It'll just, if anything, it'll just be, the odd weekend here or there potentially, and maybe the odd call over summer when I'm not available, because I do like going away as well.
It'd be nice to actually go and herp somewhere.
So
that'd be ideal. Then one day, if you have help and I've got Will,
we can go herp.
we can go and look for other snakes, which would be nice. It's like that's one of the things. Like we love snakes, we love reptiles, so we like working with snakes and that sort of thing. But I've always wanted to. I'd never been a big herper, which obviously means like going out and looking for stuff and taking photos and that sort of thing. Like I've never had like sort of like friends around me like where I live that were keen on it too. So I'd always been by myself, and it's never that fun by yourself.
It's not.
So I never really went out. I'd go like random times and that sort of thing. But at least like got like Brett now pretty like. Fairly good mates with now, I guess.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
I'm pretty chomping at the bit to actually go and have a bit of a...
It's been so long since I've actually done a trip.
Go and find a mulga up at Gully Pot or something.
That'd be nice to see another one.
Yeah.
It'd be real nice. I've got a trip in January where I'm going to Yalara and Alice.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can turn up some cool shit then.
In Alice?
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
But yeah... We'll see what happens with that. Not for a while yet.
Yeah.
That's probably about it for catch up on call-outs, isn't it, I'd say?
Yeah, of the interesting ones anyway.
Of the interesting ones, yeah. We could talk about, ones we didn't catch, but no one wants to hear about that because they're boring. So I reckon, again, instead of answering a few questions now, what we're going to do is sort of a bit more context into some Facebook posts. So... This one that you posted yesterday is probably a good one to start with. We'll pop a clip up as we sort of talk about it, but this is has got to do with behaviour, handling, how sort of we conduct ourselves as well, and the situation. So I'll let you sort of explain that.
So this one was, this is one me and Will did, probably might have been 3 or 4 weeks ago now. And this guy was... Well, it might have been a girl. It turns out it probably was a girl. But anyway, it was a big snake. And the situation it was in, we weren't sure. We had to catch it pretty quick and that sort of stuff. So we weren't sure on the health of side of it and being a big snake. And where we were trying to relocate, we just wanted to make sure it was good. Hence, while we don't normally, grab again once they're out of the bag. Like, you just release and that's it. But we sort of wanted to just check on her and make sure she was all right. Which is when this happened, and it was like literally like came out the bag, and I went and I grabbed her, and that happened. Looks a lot worse. I was in the video a bit too, like the angle of it. It was probably like a half a metre away from my hand. When it went past, it wasn't actually there. It looks like it's right near my hand, but it wasn't.
You had a bit of distance.
But yeah, I sort of, and it's in slow motion, so it sort of looks like my reaction time isn't that. I might be able to put a full speed reaction in there too.
You can put both.
Just to see. But it my reaction speed wasn't too bad, but I sort of didn't freak out either. You can sort of see I didn't shake it.
That's the first thing I noticed. You see, the shake technique is used a lot by catchers, which we don't really like.
I mean, in a way, it's sort of like each to their own. Like, it technically doesn't hurt the snake or anything like that. It's just
it depends who's doing it.
It depends how aggressively you're sort of doing it. We just don't do it, and we just don't. Yeah, it's just not our style of doing it. But you can sort of see when they take big lunges like that, you almost ride it a bit. Like, I didn't react and like bloody fling him around or freak out or anything like that. You sort of just play it again.
Yeah.
So I can remember them.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say in the slow motion, but you see it in the quick one, you sort of just ride it a bit, and I sort of, I don't know. It is a bit hard to explain, to sort of let him ride past instead of coming further up quicker sort of thing. But yeah, there's another one. I mean, I kind of knew it'd probably get a few views maybe, but I explained it as well. And yeah, it's sort of, it really shows how how powerful the snakes can be too. Like, a lot of the time they don't really carry on at all, and this one was just a full-on crack with him mouth open and everything. But yeah, it sort of looks a bit uncontrolled, but it was pretty in control too. Like, I didn't even bat an eyelid when it happened. I mean, I did look at the video later. I'm like, oh, that kind of looks close from that angle, but only because I knew when I did it, I knew he wasn't that close. Like, he was probably, went past and was probably like head out there somewhere or something like that. It's just the angle of it. So
it just looks a lot closer than what it definitely would have been.
Looks a lot cooler
in the video.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much sort of that.
Yeah,
explained a bit. But
yeah, and they can just do that, like, without even sort of giving any warning. They can just sort of flip out and come back up on themselves.
Especially Browns, they're known for not being the most calculated with stuff, like compared to like your coastal taipans and stuff, which are known for being extremely calculated. Browns will sort of flip out and just sort of do what they can. All they're trying to do is get away, but they'll just flip out. And a lot of the time they won't have their mouth open unless they're really pissed, which this guy was, so he had his mouth open. But
I had one with mouth open that I'll show you.
Yeah, a lot of the time they'll just lunge, and you sort of hear people getting head-butted sort of thing rather than getting bitten. But yeah, we'll go on to yours if you...
Yeah, so similar situation. I'd caught one, and again, there was a few things in here that I probably shouldn't have done. I was trying to get a video of it anyway, just for sort of something to post about it, which again, we try not to do too often because, you don't really want to second handle too much and all this sort of stuff, but I did, and, that's on me. I'll hold my hands up for that one. And no, it was pretty early on in the season. It was a warmish day. But yeah, this thing had a crack, mouth open. It was weird. He come up, he sort of held, and then kept going. So I had to pull up and then pull up further. Yeah. And I had to sort of flick him a little bit.
Yeah.
Which you'll see. Like that.
That's pretty controlled though.
It is, but
I mean, I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's funny that second.
Yeah. I've not had one do that before. Like, they'll throw up like yours did, but he goes up and then keeps going.
Yeah. Was he mouth open?
He was mouth open.
And once again, is that actually looks closer than it was a bit, or was it actually that close?
It was about there, but he's fully mouth open. But yeah, from that point, he just keeps going, and I wouldn't even say. Like, yeah, I went up and again gave him a little flick, but it wasn't a...
Oh, that wasn't aggressive at all. That was just...
It was just reacting to him coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of similar to like how I did with that one. I sort of just rode it a bit and just sort of, kept him at length to an extent.
And that's what you do. You've just got to ride those flicks out. Like, yours, he comes back up over your hand. He doesn't come back up so much.
He sort of came back towards you.
Yeah. So... Yeah, and again, they all react so differently as well, but that's the only one I've had to do the sort of double like that, which I thought was quite cool. But I've had...
Quite cool, nearly chewed your arm.
It's all right. I've had a few do, like, come past the hand as well, like yours did. It's funny, in situations like that, when they do that, you know when you should let them go as well, if you have to.
Yeah.
Obviously, you try not to, because you still want to be in control of that snake, but if you have to let it go, you let it go.
Oh, I've had instances where I just sort of let them go, but I mean, not even like that. Like, it's a few when they're sort of, you grab them and then they manage to get their head in a spot where it's almost in strike range. You just have to just have another crack at it and just see what happens.
It's funny how you just sort of know when they throw. Okay, I need to let it go now.
Yeah,
I only did it once last season. And it was one that was missing most of its tail, like right up to the cloaca. So I had to grab it further down.
Yeah.
And I remember the call. It was one for you in Gawler. I'd seen it in backyard. It wasn't there when I got there. So I was just sort of looking around. I flipped a paver. There was a juvenile under there. So I caught the juvenile.
Yeah.
Bagged that up. Then the neighbours yelled out, "Oh, big one's on this side." So I've jumped the fence.
That's crazy that you actually randomly found
Yeah,
a little one.
another one. Yeah, so I've jumped the fence, jumped the side gate to get out the front, and it's going between the agapanthers. So I've run around. It sort of darted between a couple of them, so I've grabbed it past the cloaca because it didn't have a tail.
Yeah.
And it's just come straight back up, and I'm like, okay, I had to let it go because it was fucking close.
Yeah.
And re-grabbed it and got him settled down.
Yeah.
So I had to go get the person that was there to get my other bag out of the car because my other bag was out the back that had a snake in it that I just caught. So I had to get the person to get the bag out of my car and bring it over to me so I could bag this one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I've had a few like that where they've you never know what's happened to it. Either someone's just missed it with a shovel and took the end of its tail, or a stuck shed or something like that. Might have touched on something like that in the last episode.
I think you did, yeah.
They're probably the ones that I've had like, you know, a bit closer calls with. The ones with a lot of their tail missing for some reason. It's just like it's not even that much. It's just like it's probably another 50 mil or something. No, depends where you are. Like it may be 100 mil or something down the tail or something like that. But it's weird how much of a difference it is.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Just that little bit of difference. Just grabbing it that bit further down.
And once again, it's like the smaller snake that's making it a bit smaller, which doesn't help. Rather than like you see the big ones up in Queensland and stuff where they almost they just get a whole handful of them like below the cloaca pretty much like and just got full control sort of thing. Whereas we
can't really do that with the snakes down here just because they're not that big.
No,
really.
It's just like it's funny just how much of a, I've thought about it before, how much of a difference it makes. Just with the tail not being there, it's weird. Like it's not even that much, but it just makes a difference.
And it does.
Whether they may be more sensitive if they've lost something there, that's something too. Who knows?
Yeah, I suppose it depends on how old the injury is as well.
I mean, if you lost
sort of thing,
if the poor fella's lost his hemipenes, I wouldn't be happy either.
Like you see some get real close to the cloaca as well, and you think like another centimetre and you'd be dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've had a couple that have been injured by something or someone. Like just above the cloaca, you poor bastard. Like it could have been 20 mil or 30 mil down, like the other way, and he would have been. He wouldn't have gotten the action for the rest of his life, but he would have lived. But yeah, pretty much anything above the cloaca obviously is a death sentence because they can't pass anything. So.
Yeah. It's either for other injuries as well, like spinal injuries.
Yeah,
like
that sucks because some of them are like pretty mobile. Like I've seen them with a broken back down, like close to the cloaca, but like from there up, they're 100%. There's just the back.
Just the back end that.
I still remember one that was probably from like 3 years ago in Williamstown, and it was a bloody melanistic red belly.
Oh.
Like solid black. And the people rang me in the morning, it was like early morning, and they're like, "Oh, we got this red belly sitting on the back of our lawn." And then they're like, "Oh, it's been there all night." I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "I think they saw it the night before, and then they thought, it'll just move on," which is fair enough. And then they called me in the morning and said I hadn't moved. I'm like, bloody hell. And then I got there, and the lady said that she reckons the neighbour or something had a go at it. And then it came over to their house to pretty much. It wasn't dead. It just had a broken back. Just had blunt force trauma to its back.
It's a death sentence.
I saw it at first, I'm like, oh yeah, red belly. And then I picked it up and I'm like, you bastard. Like solid black red belly.
That's rough.
And then it made it even worse. It was a Sunday afternoon and the vets weren't available, so I had to euthanise it myself too. So that freaking sucked. But,
it had to be a melanistic. Like you said you caught a couple over here.
All in Williamstown. So kind of weird. There must be some sort of, I don't know, I'd have to look back at where they were.
Yeah.
The call outs, but I've definitely caught 2 or 3
in Williamstown
that were full melanistic.
Yeah.
I've also caught another one in Eden. I did catch one in Eden Valley that was melanistic.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I only caught one last season that was full melanistic.
And if no one knows, melanistic means like lacks colour pigment, so it was just full, that's what it means.
Fully black.
It's just full black, no red belly.
Yeah.
So
I caught one last season, and that was in Paracombe, Inglewood. around the reserve.
Yeah, photos of it.
Yeah, that
I don't know
was.
if I saw that. Oh, I probably did.
You probably did. Yeah, we can chuck one up. Yeah, no, I photographed this thing because it was nice. It was on Christmas Day as well. Funnily enough.
Was it? Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Look at that thing.
it was a good sized snake.
Yeah.
And then we'll put up another red belly that's typical of that area as well.
Yeah.
So, like, the difference. Yeah. It's a real nice snake.
Yeah, that's sick.
Again, good size as well. And that was Christmas Day call out, which was nice.
I haven't the last few years. I haven't done since it's coming up to that time of year. I don't know if I've done. I think I've had calls on Christmas Day, but I've sort of, when
Haven't had to.
You got family stuff on too. I mean, it doesn't mean we wouldn't go and do them, but at the same time, it's just like the few that I've had are like it's passed through and they're not 100%. Like if it's an emergency or something, you'd obviously do it.
Yeah.
But like you're sort of probably not as likely just to do the random sort of yard check on a Christmas Day.
No,
probably.
no.
But,
Well, yeah, this one came in at like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. It was quite warm last Christmas from what I remember.
yeah. Oh yeah, it was. It was like
Yeah.
that was I did filming.
You were
that day.
filming, yeah. And this fella had gone into an open carport and was just cooling down in there.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah.
they're like, can you come and get him?
Sure.
I was like, yeah, I've done all my stuff for the day. I'll go get him. I was just watching a movie with the missus. It's like, yeah, okay, I'll go get him.
Barely move with the guts full of food.
No, it wasn't too bad. Controlled myself a little better because I knew I'd probably have to go catch a snake. But yeah, that's the only one I've caught. But it was a cracking snake.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, we'll see if we catch any more. I've caught a few red bellies in Williamstown, but haven't come across one out there.
Yeah, it's normally, once again, that once you start getting into the hilly area where, well, I guess that is the southern Mount Lofty, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where it starts. Even like Eden Valley Springs and it's sort of southern
Mount Lofty.
Still, so that's obviously, start getting reds. Get a fair few in there. Probably more than brown. There's still a lot of browns up there though too. So, yeah. We're gonna go from there.
Yeah, do we want to give it a bit more context to another video just to get to an hour? Let's do... Where's a good one? Yeah, we talked about that one.
Right, darling.
Muppets on that one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Give a bit of context to this one. Give a bit of context to this one. This is probably a good one to give a bit of context to.
So,
I'll slide down to the other one with your daughter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously being, like, around snakes all the time, I've got, 2 kids that are obviously, or young kids that are growing up around them too. So it's just, obviously just, education is what it's all about. And, yeah, this photo here, I mean, I sort of said it to the missus and I'm like, this is probably going to get a bit of...
You sent it to me as well. It's like, this is going to get some...
And I'm like, but I wanted... it's not the reason I posted. I wanted to post it because it just the image it sort of shows. And like, at no point, like, you obviously had like so many heroes on there thinking, like, why would you put a snake at face level to an infant? And I'm like, well, for one, it wasn't at face level. Like, it may look like it there, but the snake's head is on the grass. And Oscar's got his head up, like, sitting up like that. So it's like a good, if the snake was even that way inclined, it probably wouldn't have even been in the distance of having a crack at him. And I even said in the post that this snake I literally take to, like, childcare centres and bloody retirement homes. I had 90-year-old women hold this snake.
As a handling animal.
Yeah, as a handling animal. Like, there was absolutely, like, zero chance of anything happening. But it was just like the image of it just showing that, like,
Fear is taught.
Like, my kids aren't growing up with fear around reptiles, but at the same time you're sort of educating them. It's not like people think, oh, you acclimatise them to it so then they'll go and pick up snakes in the backyard.
No.
But it's not how it works. Like, Hallie, like my daughter, she's a bit older. And she she comes in the snake room with me within reason. Obviously not when I haven't got venomous snakes out and stuff like that. She doesn't come in. She watches through the glass. I've got a full glass door in front of us there. Like, I'll close the door if I'm getting, like, browns or something out. Like, I'll close the door and she watches through the glass and that sort of thing. She understands and she knows, like, 100% she doesn't touch anything unless, like, python or anything like that. She doesn't touch anything like that unless I'm there. It's just what it comes down to.
Where's that one? It's probably not far from...
yeah, and then got another similar one where, another photo
there.
with Hallie. She was like, there was nothing. There was no. I think, because that enclosure normally does have a venomous snake in it, but it didn't have it in this instance. It was just a good photo. And she, people still sort of freak out about that, and when there's absolutely, like, in our minds, there's nothing wrong about it. Like, there's no doubt. Like, you'd never put, like, your own kid in a dangerous situation, and it's just funny the amount of uneducated people that jump in on that stuff, and
it's ridiculous,
and still try to tell you that you're doing the wrong thing. Like, no, like, I know. I know all my animals, and I know what animals I can, like that photo with Oscar, I know what animals I can do that with.
Yeah.
Because that's what they are. And obviously you're not going to, if they're hungry or something, like they got a food response, you're not going to bloody take them out there and do that sort of thing either. Like, some people literally think we're stupid and just doing that sort of thing. But there's a chance of something happening, there's absolutely zero chance of, something bad occurring there. And Oscar hadn't had a photo with a snake yet, so he needed a photo with a snake.
There you go.
And I think I got another one. I never posted it. I think it's in Hallie's one of her books that the missus puts together, like photos and stuff. It was her first birthday, and she had my big Murray Darling python sitting like around, like in a U, and Hallie was just sitting in the sort of thing. Oh my God, if I posted that, it would have got a bit uproar, but it shouldn't really. Like, it's not. I mean, you kind of get where people come from sometimes, but if they actually read the post and what you say on there, like, it's
they don't know. They just react to it. Because again, they're all uneducated.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. We know when posts like that are gonna get reactions. We say it to each other. It's like, you sent me that one of Oscar and say this would be a good one to post. And then I sent you another one only a couple of weeks ago. He's like, yep, I'm just going fishing.
Yeah. And but it's always the same sort of people, and like, there's people that, a lot of people learn and change their minds on stuff, but then there's just, like we said last week, there's some people that don't, and unfortunately that's a sign of lack of intelligence. If you can't change your mind, if you can't absorb information and be like, oh, maybe I'll change my mind on that or this or that, that's a sign that it
says more about the person.
Yeah, and you're a bit switched on about stuff, and you can actually change your perspective on things. And then there's people that are just downright in their line of, not going to change for anything, and they're the ones that can't. They're the ones that jump on and have a go for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that you sort of kind of feel sorry for them in a way. You're like, well, you're never gonna. Imagine what they're like with other stuff too, not just
literally.
Well, you just can't change your mind on things.
Yeah, so. And people try and make excuses for it as well.
Yeah,
like we had a family gathering the other day. We had a few neighbours and friends over. And I hadn't seen a few people for a while. I was obviously talking about what I do. It's like, oh yeah, snake catcher, rah rah rah. One of our neighbours is like, oh yeah, I'm old school. Yeah, only good snake's a dead snake. Rah rah rah. And I didn't say anything because I know how you feel. But it's like, why are you making an excuse? I'm old school. There's plenty of old school people that love snakes and do that. It's like, no, it's just you're uneducated.
Yeah.
It's not it's not an old school thing.
Nah.
There's plenty of people that I know, plenty of older people that, do what we do and love it and, push the education side of things. It's just you're uneducated and you're unwilling to,
There's a lot of people, like a lot of the people that we've sort of looked up to and stuff that are obviously older than us, like older people, and been in the hobby and whatever for years and years. Like, it's a shit excuse, really.
But people throw it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the excuses you hear are ridiculous, but that might be for another episode as well.
Yeah.
We can react to a few Muppets, which is always fun. But I reckon we'll leave it there for this one.
I think so.
We're just about at an hour. So, yeah, that was episode 6.
6, I think.
6, yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know what you think, all that stuff.
If you want to hear us talk about something or want to ask us a question or, just comment on YouTube, Facebook, or whatever the Facebook page, just hit us up and we'll discuss anything if you want us to talk about something or along those lines. So
we've got a long list of topics that we're going to do for episodes, but suggestions are always appreciated as well. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.